to the Koalition.com.
I quickly wanted to know was how do you go about balancing the adaptation from the book as compared to what's going on topically, especially with the black community, and having to kind of change our identity in order to find success?
Yeah, I mean, I think that to me the key was, that's what the novel's all about. This, right? The novel and the film are both about the ways in which people sort of like try to break out these rigid containers and sort of like try to flatten our lives. And so, to me, when I read the book was published in 2001, but it could have been published yesterday. And so, to me, it's to your point, as you said, sort of like a lot of black people are dealing with this nowadays. I've sort of been interested in this subject for about 40 years now. I was watching, like I said, a spiritual relative to this film is Hollywood Shuffle. Hollywood Shuffle came out almost 40 years ago, and they were talking about these kinds of things. So, it is sad that this remains such a relevant issue, 22 years after the book was published. But, the way that I wanted to talk about the film, I wanted to talk about these issues was in a movie that had a little fun with it. I think these are serious subjects. I think that I understand why people take them seriously, but to me, sort of a satirical film that addressed these kinds of things that people do deal with every day, it was the best way that I could come up to talk about these things right now, if that makes sense.
How do you find the balance between the satire and the drama without one overlapping the other one, without it going too far?
I think that was sort of always the key to me, to sort of like the movie that I wanted to make. I wanted to make something that was satirical without becoming farcical. And so, the drama stuff and the more sort of like poignant family moments, just from a technical aspect, not just because I liked them and I wanted them in the movie, but just from on a technical level, those help ground some of the comedic beats. I think that sort of, sometimes satire, if it's there in sort of like too prominent a fashion, it can become farcical and become kind of slapsticky and silly. And I never wanted the movie to become silly. I always wanted the movie to remain pretty grounded and realistic and naturalistic. And so, I don't think you can have one without the other. Like, I think life is neither comedy nor tragedy, right? Like, it's always the same, usually on the same day. And so I wanted to make sure that the movie accommodated for that reality, because that's how I've always experienced it.
Thank you.
No, thank you.